Hey, I'm Van. You probably are here not because of the YouTube algorithm, but because I posted on my story. So last week I asked you to send artworks to fix. Not to repaint them entirely, but to make them better, either in storytelling or composition, etc. Now, we had some entries and you understand that we can't do all of them. We don't have the time for that. But if you want me to fix your artwork next, please join the Discord and send yours. Now, let's start. First, we have Geeky Corn. This is my latest, but I love to see your take on it. Okay. Next, we have Walkie. It's a mess, but I wanna see what you will do if you pick this one. Here, I'm Val. Just joined and I'm a huge fan of your work. Here's my submission, should you choose to feature one. Then we have Equalist Brett with a way too dark of an artwork. And he said, big fan, you've done one of mine before, so don't feel pressure to take a look at this one. Kalakarit, or something like that. Hey, you are truly an inspiration. Hope you take this work of mine to next level. I'm not gonna lie, this one is probably one of the best we seen so far. We're here to basically find artworks that need a lot of work, not just one or two small things here and there. This is a few months old painting of mine with Krita, and I wish to improve this. By the way, I love your work. Okay. Anyway, this is my submission of my OC called Michael for the redraw. I love your art. Then we have Filtex Feel. Here's some work of mine for you to redraw. I've seen your artwork before in this Discord. I see some issues with it, so we are fixing that as well. Hi, I usually draw my composition by looking at some references, but I don't know if I am using them correctly. Especially don't know how to make the composition for the background. Then, we have a fairy. Now, first thing I see is some of the lights are blurred. Wrong brush. These lights are blurred. These lights, why not blurred? Same thing here. These buildings are closer to the camera. So if you are blurring those, you have to blur the buildings that are farther. I know you say, these buildings took a lot of time to paint and I like them, why to blur them? I agree, but if you are blurring some, you have to blur them all. This is how it works. Second of all, I think the entire city should be a bit larger. So let me do a quick selection of the character. I like the socks and the way they interacting with the leg, the thigh. I think this is the thigh, I'm not sure. Don't judge my anatomy. Okay, let's duplicate this. Okay, now what I will do is selecting the bottom part of the artwork. Let's duplicate it first. We will do is basically making it a bit larger and moving the character in the middle of these two buildings. Okay, now let's erase some parts. Damn, I will have to paint the whole building now. Anyways, I will do it. Next time, maybe I should ask you to send me the whole file so I don't have to repaint a lot. But never mind, that's my job, not yours, I guess. Maybe you made this in just one layer? For fuck's sake, we are blurring the background anyways. Why I have to suffer to repaint the whole background? I think the smudge tool will do just fine for now. Maybe on another video I will try to repaint it, but not today. I have a lot to do. I don't have the time to fully repaint the artwork. Let me add the lights as well. I have that same brush too, so let me find it. No. One of these. We will use that one. Don't judge. I know it is not the same brush, but it will do for now. You see, the buildings look much better. Now, first, we have to make the character a bit smaller, a bit to the left, so she will be exactly in the middle of these two towers. And then the easiest way to fix the feet is to hide them. So I'm joking, but it makes more sense for her to be standing at the edge of the tower. Too much work. I'm not paid enough to do that, but I'm doing it for you guys. I love the texture you added here, but we are removing it. Anyways, so now she's standing at the edge. What I would do on the edge is basically redo the wall thing. Maybe we need it even darker. Maybe fill the wall and let me find some textures. I have a lot of brushes, I have to manage them a bit somehow. We need it dark because this is the closest part of the scene to us. Okay, now what I will do next, we are blurring it 4%. We are missing some atmosphere. Yeah, the artwork looks good, etc. But what we will do to enhance the atmosphere is, let's first enhance the bloom of the moon on a new layer using a soft brush like that. Let's look what looks the best. Maybe the add and lower the opacity, and maybe one more time. Okay, now we will do the same for the buildings. Let's make the whole city glow. Okay, this part, and change the blending mode. I think hard light is no. I think let's add and okay, and now let's erase some parts at the bottom of the scene around here. Now maybe lower the opacity a bit more, maybe the moon layers too. And now let's focus on the character. On a clipping mask layer, let's do the same basically, but for the edges of the top. Let's enhance the blue from the moon. At the bottom part, let's do some yellow, and on this side, this will make the character pop so much. You won't believe it. I think color dodge is the best option, but let's check the others. Hard light is good too. Color dodge is the best. Okay. Now let's add some edge highlights again on a clipping mask layer. Add. Okay. Don't overdo it. Let's select this part of the scene, and on a new layer, let's add a glow that comes from the city below, like that. Add and lower, maybe lower the opacity. You can keep adding things, but I think even leaving it at that is good enough. So here, before, after. This is the grayscale from before. If you see it in grayscale, all the values are the same. You can't paint an artwork if your values are not different. Things on the foreground usually are the darkest, and as you go the farther back, things getting softer and in lighter, less saturated colors. So what we did, here's the before, here's the after. Now we have an even clearer silhouette. We can still maybe either make our character even darker or make our background even lighter to make it even more clear where the head is. But let's leave it at that. Now, this is our third artwork. First of all, for some reason, the whole landscape is a bit warped like that, and I don't see any reasons for that. But before fixing it, let's fix the obvious. This guy have female lips. Maybe you want it like that, but it's an easy fix. Why not fixing it? Anyways, what is his other hand? Maybe he only has one. We don't know the backstory of the artwork. If you have backstories of your artworks, next time please let me know. Okay, now let's make this artwork a bit more, this horizon a bit more straight. The whole field is glowing, and for some reason the part where our main characters are standing is not. How is this a magic moment if your characters are standing in the worst part of the whole field? We want our characters to stand in the best part of the field, so we are moving them upwards. This character, the male character, his silhouette is interrupted by the mountains, so moving him upwards, maybe his head around here, it will fix that as well, making his silhouette more clear, because she's fine but he's not. How is she supposed to say yes if his silhouette is not clear? So, as you may know, I'm working on an art course lately about digital art and compositions. There we will talk about composition, color theory, values, and how to create artworks that tell stories. So, the only thing that we are not talking about in that course is perspective. Why we are not talking about perspective? Because if you can tell from basically almost all my artworks, I don't think that perspective is that important if you just want to create artworks that tell stories. If you see some examples of my own artworks, you can basically tell that all of them are using just the same perspective. So, if you want to improve and land maybe some more jobs in art, please consider joining the waitlist now to get a huge discount. Back to the video. And also, she is standing closer to us than him. It's like they are standing in two different places in the scene. Make a quick selection. I'm not trying to win any awards. Okay, now duplicate the characters. I think they are off center as well. Make them slightly smaller. Now let's move the man a bit down. We are removing that mountain from behind, so his face silhouette is much cleaner. I'm just trying to show you how you can easily fix some of the issues you have with your backgrounds. You don't have to smudge. You already have the files. Just do the work. Okay. Now we will repaint some of the foreground. Let's make the characters a bit darker. Okay, the glow comes from below, so he should be glowing around here, underneath the nose, behind his head, here, basically half of his trousers, here. What I would say is, don't be afraid to push the limits of contrast, the limits of shadows. Make darker shadows if needed. Make brighter highlights if needed. Don't be afraid. Now let's change the blending mode, maybe to add, yeah, but we will have to erase some parts around here. Yeah, I'm not totally happy with it, but you get the idea. Now let's paint I have the same brushes for this field as well. I don't know why you left that front part, which to be honest is the most important part of the scene. You left it dark. And don't be afraid to paint some more. Don't overdo it, of course, but why not finishing the whole piece with flowers like that? But anyways, let's try some different brushes. You already have these brushes. Why not using some of these brushes? Scattering some different flowers around to add some details. Let me erase some parts because yours were too big, way too big. Because as you go further, they should become a lot smaller. Of course, we are adding less, not as much as the foreground, but make them actually smaller. Now, and I see you have the grass as well. I would come and add them manually because you don't need it as much. And around his legs, maybe some random spots. Yeah, I'm overdoing it, but now let's crop the whole artwork slightly around here. to really focus on the characters. And one more thing, maybe duplicate it. What I like to do is blur the whole artwork, turn it into screen mode, and you already look, and you can erase some parts like the sky and maybe the front slightly, maybe lowering the opacity. Okay, now let's see the before and after. This is the before and this is the after. I didn't change the character at all. I just added some edge highlights. I moved them a bit higher, and look at that. What a difference, huh? Don't be afraid to add more details. What was that, like 5 minutes? Basically repaint the whole field. You already did the background and the sky is basically perfect, but make sure you really focus. Here, the characters are way too low in the scene, way too low. And his silhouette, if you half close your eyes, is not readable at all. You can't tell he's there at all. And basically finished the artwork. You already did great with the wall piece, but you left the front part unfinished. And that's it. Okay, this is a quick one. Let's do this. Okay, we are leaving the right one so you can see side by side the before and after. So we duplicate the whole piece and put it in multiply. Maybe we should make it a bit darker too. And maybe let's lower the saturation a bit. Create a mask on top and invert it. Now let's push the shadows more. Let's leave it at that. Let me show you. The whole piece has the same value. As I said before, don't be afraid to push contrasts or colors or highlights. Why I'm painting shadows with a grass brush? I mean, you can do it, but... So here, the main light is from behind. I guess we can make the shadows a lot darker, especially on the not necessary parts of the scene. I see you painted her hand like that, so that part is a key part of the artwork. Let's enhance it really quick. See how much her hands are popping now, and we are not done yet. Let's enhance some folds here. Don't be afraid to push your shadows to even darker values. This is something I'm seeing a lot of, let's say, young artists do. They are too afraid to push the values a lot. Make the shadows darker, the highlights lighter. You don't really have to be honest, because pushing those is what tells the story of the artwork. We are doing it, making it more dramatic. The lighting and the scenery is already dramatic. Why not pushing it a bit more? Basically, we are bringing her face a bit more to the foreground. You get the main idea, what I'm trying to say. And one more thing, this is too symmetrical. Try to break it even more. I see you try to break it with the hair, but you don't really do anything. This is basically drawing one half of the artwork and flipping it on the other side. You can do that, but for the artwork to be more unique and live, I think you should do more changes. Here are a bit strange, but we are not fixing that. All this you can learn on my upcoming course. I know, we all hate theory, but it's important, and this is the most important theory you should learn. So there are more places we can add shadows, but let's do one more thing. Duplicate again, blur it like we did in the previous artwork, and screen. Let's lower the opacity so we can see the patterns in the background, and with a soft brush we are erasing some of the parts here. Okay, and now you can see the before and after. This basically took 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. It's an ultra easy fix, and especially in the values. Basically what we did today was just fixing some artworks, fixing them by just improving some elements. We added contrast, we enhanced some values, we boosted stories, especially on that second one. So again, if you are interested on this concept, please join the Discord server below and share yours for an upcoming video. And please let me know which one was your favorite. I personally think that the first one we fixed today was my personal favorite. Please consider comment, liking and subscribing, because YouTube is something I would love to do for many years now. So join the family. Yeah, bye.